Okay, welcome back to Paddy's Golf Tips. We're here at the PNC Championship at the Ritz-Carlton in Orlando at Grand Lakes. We're going to talk a little bit, because I've been asked about this, about my routine, but more specifically, a good routine.
The winner of the gold medal and the champion golfer of the year is Padraig Harrington.
What you got to do is you obviously got to establish the shot you have first of all. So you stand behind your shot and you have a look at it and you go, right, I've got 220, I've got a right to left wind, I've got danger left, so you know, maybe I should err a little bit more to the right. Now everybody should be doing that, get their yardage and worry, you know, figure out where they want to miss and where they want to hit a good shot and whether they're going full tilt at the flag or not. In this case, you know, pretty much this flag's in the middle of the green. Yes, I will go at it. I think there's 10 yards left of it before it's the bank and into the water. I think that's a reasonable miss, so I'm going to take this on. So I've decided I'm going to hit a full 5-iron. I'm going to hold it out into the wind. At this stage, because I want to hit a cut shot, I'm going to prep the shot a little bit. This is my preference. So I'm going to take a couple of practice swings, just swinging left because I want to hit a little bit of a cut. So I want to get that feeling of swinging left and opening up the club face. So a couple of little practice swings back here. They're kind of half swings, you know, 2 or 3 of them, might be 4, depends on, they're quick, they're not going to take much time. Stand back and I pick my target. Now this is obviously going to be done fluid. It takes about, professional golfer should hit their shots, especially if they're not first up, you've got a total of 40 seconds. It usually takes about, for the crunch part of it, takes about 20 seconds. So when you stand behind, and this is the key bit, all this stuff that's gone on beforehand, whether you take it practicing, whether you don't, that can be done at well before you're doing it. Quickly, it can be done slowly, depends on what time and what's happening. You can be doing it while somebody else is hitting the shot, you can be visualizing, picking up, all that can be done. But the last part of your routine is what's key. So essentially I'm going to stand here and I'm going to pick my target. Now I pick my target by using a thing I call parameters. So I'll pick the outer parameters, which is the left edge of the green. Anything outside of that is in the water. And I'll pick, in this case, just slightly right edge, maybe in a couple of yards right of the green. Anything in that is okay. Then I'm going to narrow it in and go, you know what, the left edge of the camera tower is probably as far left as I want to go because there's water. I see a nice tree about 5 yards right of the flag. That's my outside. So I've got outer goalposts, inner goalposts. I'm going to pick a target inside those inner goalposts, a point now. So I'm comfortable. I'm trying to hit between the inner targets. I don't feel under pressure because I know the wider targets are okay. And now I'm picking an individual target in the middle. So at this stage I've picked, there's a nice little black tree trunk right behind the flag. Well, about 2 yards right of the flag. I did say it was a right to left wind and I'm trying to hold it up. I then walk in, okay? From this point onwards, I'm not adding anything into the shot. I've decided everything. I've decided whether I'm making a 3/4 swing, a hard swing, whether I'm holding it up. I've dialed everything in. So the minute you step forward, you should already have your mind made up. Key here is if you're walking towards the ball or getting over the ball and you change your mind, you haven't done your routine right. A good routine, you've decided on what you're doing and there's nothing more to add. So I've got my target, line up, and a beautiful high fade, overcutting a little bit to the right corner of the green, but a very nice shot all the same. Pretty safe, no danger going in the water. Okay, so what was going on in my head, and this is probably as much the key to the routine as to handling pressure. So the routine is to ensure, one, I've done this stuff so I don't change my mind going forward. 2, the waggles are there to create a bit of movement to relax you, take the pressure off, the stress. Everybody's got movement. You've got to have movement. The last thing you want is stillness, because stillness can cause you to start thinking, and we already made up our mind. So when we walk in, one waggle, my feet are moving, my club is moving, and I draw the club back. So that's the physical movement. The mental movement is, and this is the key, I've made up my mind and I've decided here what I'm doing on the shot. Different players have different ideas. I'm very much a disciple of Bob Rotella, so my goal from here onwards is, in my head I have the belief that my swing is going to repeat what my mind is seeing. Okay, so I'm not trying to physically do anything once I walk forward. I'm only going to do one thing mentally, and it's like I've explained in the putting. I return to that same mental thought on every full shot I hit, every one, short shot as well. Every shot I hit, I have one thought. Can you imagine the comfort that brings my mind, the familiarity that my brain has? What am I doing over this shot? This is what I'm doing, because this is all I've ever done. So imagine, for most people at home, they've had a swing thought that's worked once for them, they hit a good shot. So the classic one is, okay, I'm going to tuck my elbow. And I should know the name of the pro, but I remember there was a pro who won it in Bob Rotella's book. He tucked his elbow and he won by 10 shots the first week. And he thought, I found the secret, I'm going to tuck my elbow, it's the secret to my golf game. And the following week he went out to tuck his elbow and missed the cut. Same thought, but it failed. So what went on there? Well, when he initially got the thought, tucking his elbow, he believed in it. So every time he got over the ball, he was going to tuck his elbow, and all he's concentrating on here is tucking his elbow. And he believed so much that it consumed his mind, that he wasn't distracted by don't hit it in the water, don't hit it right, don't hit it fat, don't hit it too hard, don't hit it too easy. Whatever thought crosses your mind, okay, I'm lined up wrong. This was consuming him. By the second week, it didn't work, because he was getting over the ball and he probably was trying to do it better, because he hit one bad shot and he went, oh, that didn't work, I should have tucked it harder, I should have tucked it softer, I should have tucked it earlier, I should have tucked it faster. As in, all of a sudden that brain thoughts were changing and he was adding stuff in. Never add stuff in. Even if you think it's going to make it better, never add stuff in if you're under pressure. Add stuff in on the range, away from the tournament. That's not great before you go play either. But you can add stuff in at some stage, but not, if you want to have the best round of golf of your life right now, don't add anything in. Actually take stuff out, just one thought. So for me, the thought is the target, whatever that is. I pick my target, I walk in, I'm thinking about the target, I'm focused on the target, and that's consuming me. For some people, it will be a swing thought. Some people swing thought, there'll be people who get over and they'll just go, I want to take it away slow. And as long as that consumes them, they'll be great under pressure. The wrong thing would be, I want to take it away slow and make sure I turn my shoulders. That's adding something in. I want to make a slower downswing, I want to get more rhythm in my downswing, I want to push, I want to do anything that's adding on just complicates it, and your brain does not like complication. It likes simplicity, it likes familiarity, really that familiarity. So it's constantly going back to the one thought that suits you, and practicing doing that, practicing before you go out to play, practicing that all the time, going to the one thought. That's what's handling pressure. That familiarity is comfort, and your brain just wants to be comfortable. Okay, for the hell of it, I'm going to do a different shot. I'm going to try and draw it in there. So again, I do a little bit of prep, just get a feeling of swinging away from myself and releasing the club, just like so. Stand back. I have my parameters. I certainly don't want to start it on the flag with a draw. I can go as far right as just inside, even over the edge of that right hand bunker. Now I'm going to pick an arrow where I want to hit it, and the two sets of trees look actually excellent up there for me, and I'm going to hit it at the middle tree. Perfect. So we'll walk in, I've decided everything. Line up. And a lovely draw. Actually very, very nice, that one. Okay, now I'm going to add one more thing into this hole. I'm giving away the secrets here, okay? So we got water on the left here. Do I hit a fade like I did the first time, off the water, or do I hit a draw towards the water? Personal preference, but how do you decide which is better for you? And it will change throughout the set of clubs. So you might draw towards the water with a down to an 8 iron, and then from 7 iron, 6 iron, 5 iron you might hit a fade off the water. But how do you decide where that split is? How do you decide which one you do? Well, you've got to be a good practicer. Hopefully you can go on the golf course. So what you would do is you come to a hole like this that's difficult, always a pressure hole, and you get 10 balls, okay? So maybe you get 5 number 1s and 5 number 2s, and you stand in the tee and you go, I'm going to hit 5 fades. So hit a fade, and then hit a draw with the number 2, hit a fade, hit a draw, hit a fade, hit a draw, and go up and see which are the best ones. Simple as that. Do it with all your clubs at all different situations. Do it with water left, do it with water right, all sorts of different stressful situations, and you will find, you know what, I'm actually better drawing the ball off the water with a 9 iron when there's water right. But you know, if there's water right, I don't like doing that with a 4 iron. I'm better off playing safe and going up the left hand side with a fade. So the only way you're going to learn which suits you, and again this is a part of handling pressure and routine, is by actually getting out on the golf course and competing against yourself by hitting that fade draw, aiming at the water and letting it come off it, or aiming away from it and letting it come towards it. Up to you to do that practice and figure it out yourself.